4th and goal to go to the 2. 34 seconds left to go in the ball game. This is the play right now. Takes the snap. Targeted goes in. Targeted all alone. And the quarterback keeps. Wow, what a call. Nobody touched him.
Here is Jeff, the host of the Gridiron.
Now you gotta go. I mean, I didn't bother looking because I'm a bum, right? I straight up let you know I'm a bum, right? I don't know how. It took a long time. It took a long time, and I don't even know if I even would have found an answer. But I could have possibly maybe looked back in time. A lot of it would have probably been, you might have looked like newspaper articles or stuff like that and all. But did the Giants maybe, possibly set a Giants record? Well, please let me explain, right? The Giants, a lot of times in preseason, we just stink a lot of times. And if we win, so every now and then we score some points. Yeah, sometimes we get into the 30. And this is obviously may not be any indicator. I mean, we I hope not, but we might score 10 points against the Jets next week. Who knows, right? Or against the Patriots. So but I mean, look pretty good, right? Now, so a lot of times the Giants, for one reason or the other, especially with Daniel Jones out there, we don't usually score a boatload of points, especially in the preseason. Okay, so a lot of times, the Giants might score in the teens or maybe get to the 20, 21 or something like that. We don't usually score a bunch of points, but we scored 34 points. But what was so fascinating to me, right, is that Russell Wilson got us a field goal. Jaxson Dart had 13 points, I believe it was, 2 field goals and a touchdown. Jameis Winston got us a touchdown. And then Tommy Chicken Carla Parmesan got us a couple scoring drives. We had 4 different quarterbacks. 4 score points. I don't ever remember, I might have happened before for the Giants. I'm not saying in the rest of the NFL. I'm just saying for the Giants. I mean, when was the last time the New York Football Giants went into a any game, period? Because chances are in a regular season game, the Giants aren't going to put 4 quarterbacks in a game. If they do, that's because they're all getting injured, right? But when was the last time, period, that the New York Football Giants went into a game, postseason game, exhibition game, regular season game, they had 4 quarterbacks go into a game and lead them to a touchdown, or lead them to some points. I apologize, to some points. Now, as I said, Russell Wilson was only out there for what? Was it the 1 drive or was it the 2? Let's see here. I think it was just the one drive, play-by-play. Because Dart was in there. Let's see. Dart was in there for the. Or was it Wilson was in there? No. Wilson was in there for 1 drive. 1 drive. It took up like half of the first quarter, but he got us a field goal, right? Okay, so 1 drive, he got us a field goal. But the other 3 quarterbacks, each one threw a touchdown pass. Right? Very, very impressive. Now, I said not only that, but I brought this up, I think, in the beginning of, the video I started here tonight, right, is that you go with the box score. Now, of course, if Jameis Winston's interception held, that, because that was self-inflicted. That one dude for the Bills, the bald-headed dude, I have no idea who it was. That was a stone-cold interception. Right, there was no tip ball up in the air, and then that was a straight up interception. But so if Winston's interception held, his quarterback rating wouldn't be a 108.9. But Jaxson Dart's quarterback rating 106.0. Tommy DeVito 107.1. Jameis Winston led the team 108.9. Now Jameis Winston completed 7 out of 11 passes. 62 yards to 1 touchdown. Tommy DeVito, 10 out of 14, 73 yards to 1 touchdown. Jaxson Dart, 12 out of 19, which I figured it was 63%. Right? 154 yards. Now, let's not forget, Dart, I mean, this wasn't even he played, I guess it was like a quarter and a half, because Russell, actually, it was even a little less than that, but Russell Wilson chewed up half of the first quarter on that one long drive, because we kept gaining like 3 yards of play all the way down the field. Right? But so Jaxson Dart in a quarter and a half had 150, once again, only exhibition, but 154 yards passing. Wasn't even a half, less than a half. So if you figure at that rate, once again, just exhibition. Now it's over 300 yards passing, and he had no interceptions. He had 1 touchdown. He had 1 or 2 balls that got batted up in the air. And there was 1 or 2 passes with Dart. They were not too good, but still, I mean, it could be his nerves, a little jumpy or whatever, like, right? But still 63% of his passes completed. And as I said, I mean, you look at it too, right? Now, quite a bit of the time he was probably going up against the Buffalo second stringers, right? So, but when he was in there, maybe in the beginning, right, his first drive or so, Slayton wasn't in there, right? Let's see, Malik Neighbors wasn't in there. Let's see. Let's see. What about Hyatt? Hyatt wasn't even in there. I mean, yeah. I mean, I didn't see him because we had Juice Wells didn't catch one. Dalen Cambry didn't catch any. Devin Singletary didn't catch any. Other than that, it was 14 different guys caught passes. That's a lot of guys, which is really, really good. But Hyatt may not even have played. So possibly 3 of our top 4 wide receivers didn't even play. Right, our best offensive lineman wasn't there, right? But it was just very, very impressive because it wasn't like a huge lull. I mean, there's a lot of times like with the Giants, we might score some points here or there, then you go a quarter and a half or almost 2 quarters where the Giants don't score anything. It's like 3 and out, like four drives in a row, and you're like, what the, but. Let's see. We scored 7 points in the third. I'm sorry, 8 points. 8 points. Jameis Winston, he had the 2-point conversion. So with Wilson, we scored 3 points in the first. Okay, and 8 points in the third quarter. But Tommy DeVito led us to 2 scores. Jameis Winston led us to 1 touchdown. Jaxson Dart, 3 scoring drives. He was in there he was in there kind of like for 5 drives, but to me, it was 4 because the 5th drive he was in there. I think he just took a knee just to end the half. So to me, he was in there for 4 drives. 3, and we're going to be talking about this in just a second here because I got some morons that have been mentioning something in some Facebook groups and stuff like that and all and everything. Just want to go over a little bit. But he had 4 drives, and he led us to 3 scores in 4 drives. Pretty good. As I said, he had 1 or 2 balls that were batted. He had a couple throws were not very good. I'm not sure if he maybe didn't set his feet or exactly what it was, or if he was all amped up and he's just trying to fire it like the one little Jordan Humphrey. He just fired it way over his head. I mean, just a bad pass. Even the announcer for Buffalo said, "Yeah, that was on Dart. It was just a bad pass, But hey, you live and you learn. But as I said, just remarkable. It's just for me anyway. Just thinking back in time. I mean, the Giants actually had 4 quarterbacks, right, going to this football game, and every one led us to a scoring drive. And I'm like, damn, wow. I don't know if I've ever remember seeing that. Not saying it doesn't certainly mean that it never happened, but I don't ever remember that happening. I said, my memory's not the greatest, but just like, damn, that's pretty damn impressive. Just kind of goes to show you, what kind of a nice quarterback room we do wind up having. Said, that's not, we got Wilson, right? And don't forget about, the one nice thing is with Tommy DeVito is that if he's going to be the fourth quarterback going in, he's the one with all the experience as far as the Dable offense goes, right? It's his third season with Dable, right? I said, then we got Dart and you got Jameis Winston who can, throw the touchdowns with the best of them, but he can also throw interceptions with the best of them as well, too. But this game here, right? This game here, we came out unscathed as far as with the interceptions or fumbles or anything. So, and I don't even remember the Giants even fumbling a ball, where they fumbled it and they got it back. I don't even remember that either. So, I mean, it wound up being a good game. Really, really good game for the Giants.